Hey guys, welcome back to our classes. This side your friend see Divyanshu Banzal. So my dear friend, in this video we are going to revise the whole module number 1 for 10 to 15 marks. Okay, so you have to just learn star questions. We have already discussed in regular class about the star questions which you have to learn. So we will revise in this video about the star question. So I will repeat 1 or 2 times. So you have to learn the head point of star questions. Okay. So within 1 hour we will complete this module number 1. And second thing, I will upload this video on YouTube so that you can watch this video n number of times. Okay. So there is no problem about the revision of this module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means 8 modules, 8 videos will be going to be uploaded on YouTube so that easily n number of time you can watch and learn the questions, descriptive questions. Okay, so first thing is completed. Now second thing, we will discuss some MCQs. There are 15 MCQs which is given in study material. These are the MCQs. So we will discuss the MCQs in this video for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, and later after the completion of our batch, I will upload a video on YouTube, or I will provide a video on your lectures, okay, on your software. So that means 200 or 300 MCQ will be there. We will discuss later after the completion of our batch. So there is no problem regarding your MCQs. Okay. And now third thing, it's your duty, it's your responsibility, and it's mandatory to give test papers. Just please, I'm just humbly requesting you that your module number 1 is completed. So just give a test to know your preparation ka level, and I am going to check these test papers and I will provide you feedback where you are lacking, how to write, what to write, when to write, or when not to write. Okay, so that it will be better for your preparation ka level. So where to get the test paper? If you are my student, if you have taken a class from me, then just WhatsApp me. Okay, I'll provide you the test paper for module number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as per your completion of lectures. Okay, just WhatsApp me at this number 799993171. Okay, or those students who have not from the class, okay, those students who have not purchased my class and directly they are just watching this revision lecture on YouTube, so they can buy the test paper, okay, through the description box. I will put a link on description box so you can buy from there. Okay, simple. Chalo, starting this MCQ number 1. I will provide you the PDF of MCQ in WhatsApp group, or your just send me hi. I will send you this MCQ on WhatsApp also. Okay, so first MCQ, barrier to entrepreneurship are, what are the barriers to entrepreneurship? First one, lack of technical knowledge. Okay, correct. Lack of business knowledge, yes. Lack of motivation, yes. These are the barriers to an entrepreneurship. This is also given in our book. Okay, so all of these is the answer. Simple. Characteristics of entrepreneurship. What are the characteristics of entrepreneurship? Assuming all the risk associated with the venture. Yes, they have to assume the risk. Okay, have the perseverance. Perseverance means they should be determined to their work. Okay, now third one, positive thinker. They have to be think positive to get succeed. Okay, now answer is all of this because they should have all the characteristics. Simple. Okay, now third one, the law of patience and perseverance is applicable for managing projects. Okay, the law of patience, we require patience for everything. Okay, so for managing the project we require patience, and perseverance means determination. We should be determined for our project. Okay, now navigating the changes. Yes, we should have a patience. Okay, mastering a skill, if we are learning something, so we should have a patience and determination. So answer is all of these. Simple. These are very simple and very MCQs. Okay, now fourth one, entrepreneurs can follow the rules. Which kind of rules they have to follow? First one, accept failure. Okay, entrepreneur can fail. Yes, they have to accept failure and take it as a lesson for future moves. Bilkul sahi. Okay, stick to something and stay on course despite difficulties. Yes, they have to stick with their aim, objective. Tolerance is the most essential component to entrepreneurship. Yes, they have to tolerate many negative things. They have to tolerate the eagerness, I can call it as a aggression of customers. Okay, so all of this is the answer. Simple. Now fifth one, a good decision maker should not be a negative thinker. Simply do not think negatively. Okay, now next one, the ability or self-efficacy for entrepreneurship is also called entrepreneurial self-efficacy. This is given in our book. Okay, you can just see this. Every MCQ is from our notes. Okay, you can also check easily after this class. You can check that everything is from our book, so you no need to take any tension or load for MCQ purpose. Okay, simple. Just focus on my book, just learn my book. That's enough to secure 60 plus in your examination. Okay, my dear friends. Now next question, seventh question, which of the following factors affect the capital structure? This is also given in our book. Simple. Company's life cycle, that means capital structure means from where I should raise fund, from equity, share capital, or from debt, or from reserves and surpluses. So which of the following factors that affect this capital structure? First one is company's life cycle. Yes. Second one is cost of capital. Third one is use of leverage. Yes. So answer is all of these. This is also given in our book. Okay, now eighth question, the pillar of inbound marketing is content, social, search, and all of these. So answer is all of these. Okay, this is also given in our book. Now ninth one, the platform like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn are used for marketing. It is known as social media marketing. Simple. This is also given in our book. Okay, entrepreneurship involves decision making. Yes. Innovation. Yes. Forecasting. Yes. That means answer is D. All of these. Simple. Now 11th question, entrepreneurship is a dynamic process and risky process. Bilkul. Yes. Entrepreneurship is a dynamic process, risky process. That means answer is C. Both A and B. Okay. Now 12th one, entrepreneurship involve a fusion of capital. That means we required in capital, that means financial capital. We required technology. Yes. Human talent. Yes. That means our answer is all of these. Simple. Very simple. Now question number 13, entrepreneurship is equally applicable to big business. Yes. Economic and non-economic activity. Yes. Small business. Yes. That means all of these. What they want to ask? Entrepreneurship is equally applicable to means where we want to apply entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs skills or entrepreneurship, a person should be an entrepreneur in which businesses? Big business, small business, any kind of business. We require entrepreneurs. Okay, we require entrepreneurs skills. We require entrepreneurship or a person having a skill, having a talent of entrepreneur. Okay, so for all business we require entrepreneurship. Okay, now 14th one, entrepreneurship is the attitude of mind to seek opportunity. Yes, if a person is entrepreneur, so then they can think about the opportunities. Okay, they will always find new opportunities, take calculated risk. Yes, they have to take a risk. Okay, derive benefit by setting up the venture. They have to derive the benefits. Okay, simple. So answer is D. Simple. Okay, now last one, which one of the following is not driving forces for entrepreneurial development? Talent. This is also given in our book. Just 1 minute. Take a page number 10. Just see this on page number 10. Entrepreneurial driving forces. There are 3 driving forces for entrepreneurship development: management, opportunity, and resources. Okay, so this is MCQ given in your study material also. Here is your study MCQ this. Okay, just read this. Which one of the following is not a driving force for entrepreneurship development? Talent. Okay, because 3 driving forces are there for entrepreneurship development. First one is management, second one is opportunity, and third one is resources. Okay, so your answer will be talent. Okay, our 15 MCQs are completed. Now starting or revision. Module number 1, chapter number 1. Okay, just you have to Repeat again and again. Just you have to repeat again and again, again and again, again and again, so to learn easily. What is entrepreneurship? What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the ability, entrepreneurship is the ability and readiness to develop, organize and run a business. Entrepreneurship, repeat, entrepreneurship is the ability, entrepreneurship is the ability. Just repeat, repeat, repeat. Entrepreneurship is a ability, entrepreneurship is a ability and readiness to develop, organize and run a business enterprise along with any of uncertainties in order to make profit. Simple. Entrepreneurship is a ability and readiness, entrepreneurship is a ability and readiness, entrepreneurship is a ability and readiness, entrepreneurship is a ability and readiness to develop, organize and run, to develop, organize and run, to develop, organize and run or business enterprise, to develop, organize and run a business enterprise along with any uncertainty in order to make profit, along with any uncertainty in order to make profit. Second point, example of entrepreneurship is starting a new business. Simple. Example of entrepreneurship is starting a new business. Okay, just listen one thing. I am not going to explain anything, just I am revising. Okay, just I'm repeating again and again, so you can easily learn the questions, because we have to write an examination, you have to write descriptive answer in examination, and you have to write this content. So I'm helping you to learn. Okay, do not think that I am going to explain everything in this video, because it's a revision video. In our normal classes, in our regular class or exam oriented in our regular class or in our exam oriented batch, I have explained you everything. So in this video I am not going to explain anything, just only revising the concepts, okay, or star questions. Now third point, it's a dynamic and risky process. Simple. It's a dynamic and risky process. Fourth one, entrepreneurship is a creative activity. So you have to learn 4 points. Okay, third one is dynamic and risky process, fourth one is entrepreneurship is a creative activity. Now second question, key concepts of entrepreneurship. What are the key concepts of entrepreneurship? Risk taking, organization, innovation, vision. Risk taking, organization, innovation, vision. This is a mnemonic. ROI. ROI, you know ROI or V. R means risk taking, O means organization, I means innovation, and V means vision. Risk taking, organization, innovation, vision. Risk taking, organization, innovation, vision. And last one, you have to learn flexibility. Flexibility, 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 flexibility. Third question, what are the entrepreneurial skills? RIP RAI, RIP RAI, RIP RAI. R means risk bearing capacity, risk bearing capacity, risk bearing capacity, innovation, innovative skills, innovative skills, innovative skills, perseverance. Perseverance means determination. Okay, perseverance. Now RAI. R means responsibility. R means re-engineering skills. A means alertness. And just one minute. This is R. R means responsibility, A means alertness to new opportunities, I means imitation. Okay, I means imitation. RIP RAI. Okay, simple. RIP RAI, RIP RIP RAI, RIP RAI. R means risk bearing capacity, risk bearing capacity, risk bearing capacity, innovative skills, innovative skills, innovative skills, perseverance, perseverance, perseverance. RAI RAI, RAI RAI. RAI means what? Responsibility, alertness to new opportunities, and imitation. Imitation. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, now next question, why do people become entrepreneurs? Why I want to become an entrepreneur? Because be their own boss. I want to be my own boss, own boss, own boss. I want to become my own boss. Okay, pursue their own ideas. I want to pursue my own ideas. Okay, now third one is pursue the financial reward. 3 points. You have to learn 3 points. Why do people become entrepreneurs? Why do people become entrepreneurs? First one, be their own boss. 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 Pursue their own ideas. Pursue their own ideas. Be their own boss. Be their own boss. Pursue their own ideas, or for financial reward. Third one is for financial reward. Simple. Third one is for financial reward. Simple. Now next question, what are the 4 motivations for starting a business specified by the GEM ASP? GEM ASP. Listen one thing, I'm just repeating the head points only. Okay, insider content you have to learn. Simple. I'm just repeating the head point for all the questions. You have to learn insider points. Do not think that you have to write only this, be their own boss, pursue their own ideas. No, no, no. You have to learn this also and insider content also. Okay, which I have marked in no, which I have highlighted in normal classes. Okay, so don't think that you have to learn only highlighted. Oh, वो क्या बोलते हैं इसको, head point. Do not learn only head point. You have to learn insider points also. Okay, simple. Now, next question. Four motivations of JAM ASP. Four motivation of JAM ASP to make difference in the world. To make difference in the world. Okay, to build a great wealth or very high income. Okay, to make difference in the world. To make difference in the world. कुछ अलग करना. I want to do different in the world. Okay. Second one, very high income. I want to earn very high income. Third one, to earn a living because jobs are scarce. To earn a living. To earn a living. Last one, to continue a family tradition. To continue a family tradition. Simple. Next question. What are the JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework condition? JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework condition. First one was finance. First one was finance. JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework. JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework. JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework. So first one is finance. We have to arrange the finance. Then government ki policies. Then entrepreneurial programs. Then entrepreneurial education. Entrepreneurial education, then R&D, research and development, then commercial and professional infrastructure, then physical infrastructure, then ease of entry, then social and cultural norms. Repeat. What are the JAM ASP's? What are the JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework condition? What are the JAM ASP's entrepreneurial framework condition? First one is finance. We have to arrange the finance. Then government policies. In government policies, what are the policies? Entrepreneur programs. Government may run the entrepreneur program. Then entrepreneur education. In that program they will get the education. Simple. Then next one, research and development. Then infrastructure. Which kind of infrastructure? Commercial and professional infrastructure. Then again physical infrastructure, then ease of entry, then social and cultural norm. Okay, simple. Now next question. What are the barriers to entrepreneurship? There are two barriers for entrepreneurship: mental barrier and second is other barrier. Mental barrier and second is other barrier. What are the other barriers? Lack of market knowledge, lack of technical knowledge, lack of seed capital, that means working capital, lack of motivation. MCQ is given in study material. Just 1 minute. MCQ is given regarding this. Okay, first MCQ is, just read this. Barrier to entrepreneurship is lack of technical knowledge, lack of business knowledge, lack of motivation. That means all of these. Just simple. Okay. Other barriers: lack of market knowledge, technical knowledge, working capital, and lack of motivation. Now next question. What are the risks to an entrepreneur? First one is founder risk. Second one is product ka risk. Then third one is market ka risk, competition ka risk. Now last one, sales execution ka risk. There are 5 types of risk for entrepreneurs. First one is founder ka risk, founders risk. Product ka risk. Third one is market ka risk. Fourth one is competition ka risk. Now fifth one is sales execution ka risk. Okay, simple. Next question. What are the business planning process in entrepreneurship? How to start a business? Simple. How to start a business? First step, generate an idea. I have to generate an idea. Then do some market research on the idea. Third one is make a plan. Firstly, what? I have to generate an idea. Then I will do market research on that idea. Then make a plan. I will make a plan how to start my business. Then arrange your fund. I have to arrange some finance. Then do legal formalities. Then do marketing of product or service. I have an example of this. Firstly, I have to generate an idea. That means I want to start a 20C, paper number 20C ka classes. I have to start paper 20C ka classes. Okay, so I have generated an idea. Then do some market research. I have to I have to do market research about the student, how many students are there in CMA final, in group 4. Okay, then make a plan how to start a class independently. I should start a class or collab with another teacher. Okay, then for starting a class I have to arrange some finances. Okay, I have to arrange some finances because I have to make a website. Okay, I have to do social media marketing and advertisement also, so I have to arrange finance. Now do legal formalities. Legal formalities means whether I'm starting as a proprietorship firm, whether I'm starting as a company. So if I'm starting as a company, then I have to register under Companies Act 2013. Now last one, do marketing of product or service. After recording of classes, I have to do marketing. Okay, simple. There are 6 steps for starting a business. Simple. Now next question, what are the myths of entrepreneurship and startup? What are the myths of entrepreneurship and startup? What are the myths of entrepreneurship and startup? First myth is you have to build a billion-dollar company. First myth is you have to build a billion-dollar company. Second one, hire the most experienced people you can find. You have to hire most experienced people in the world. That is a myth. Now raise as little as or as much as money for starting a business. This is also a myth. Focus. You have to focus on one thing only. Okay, last one, fail fast, pivot quickly. Fail fast, pivot quickly. Just read only, do not learn this question. This is for MCQ purpose only. Simple. This is for MCQ purpose. Now you have to read this also for MCQ purpose. Now starting with chapter number 2. 3 most popular psychological theories for entrepreneurship. There are 3 psychological theories for entrepreneurship. First one is McClelland theory of motivation. McClelland theory of motivation. Just repeat, McClelland theory of motivation. Second one is Rotter's locus of control theory. Second one is Rotter's locus of control theory. Third one is action regulatory theory. Action regulatory theory. Action regulatory theory. So what McClelland theory of motivation says, there are 3 driving motivators. There are 3 driving motivators for starting a business. Okay, for motivating a person: need for achievement, affiliation, and power. NAP, need for achievement, need for achievement, need for achievement, affiliation, and power. Affiliation and power. Now Rotter's locus of control theory. Second point, Rotter's locus of control theory. Locus of control theory. So you know locus of control. Locus of control. Just 1 minute. This theory puts light on locus of control, whether internally or externally. This theory will focus on locus of control, internally or externally. Externally, locus of control means how how external factors will impact on locus of control. So just read second one. Market or institutional forces will impact on locus of control externally. Or internally, how locus of control will impact internally. So through efforts or abilities, motivation, determination, locus of control will impact. Okay, I have already explained you everything in normal class, just I'm revising, so I'm not explaining you in detail. Okay, simple. Just last one is action regulation theory. Action regulation theory says that you have to do hard work. You have to work, then only you can get the result. Simple. This theory says that performance of entrepreneurship depend on their action. You have to take action, then automatically your performance will be enhanced or your result will be become. Okay, now it's a psychological theory that look at how individual achieve their goal through process of actions and regulation. Simple. It shows that how individual can achieve goals through actions and regulations. Simple. Now next question, entrepreneur needs some moral support from which network? Entrepreneur required some moral support. So from which network? From moral support network. Sorry, entrepreneur required some support from the which network? Entrepreneur required some support. So first one is moral support. Moral support from families and friends, and professional support from the experts or business associates or mentors. Simple. Entrepreneurs required some support, moral support. Second one is professional support. Simple. Now next question, what are the psychological traits of successful entrepreneurs? What are the psychological traits of entrepreneurship? What are the psychological traits of successful entrepreneurs? That means what should be the thinking of a successful entrepreneur? First one is dream big in small input. They will think dream. Okay, sorry, they will think big. Dream big in small input. Okay, delegate the work to others. Okay, we have to delegate the work to others also. Okay, set high standard goals. Set high standard goals. Take a practical approach. Map it out. Map it out. Map it out. Map it out. Then get investors. Get investor. Just 1 minute. I have some keyword for this. Okay, just wait. I have a keyword for this. Hmm. Okay, you have to change this question also. I have already explained you in, I have already told you in normal class or regular batch that you have to correct this question. What are the psychological traits of successful entrepreneurs? What are the psychological traits of successful entrepreneur? Okay, so first one is dream big in small input. You have to think big. Okay, delegate the work to others. Set high standard and goals. Okay, 3 points you have to learn. Now get investors. Have fun. Okay, fail every day and stay creative. These are the points you have to learn. Okay, rest you can leave this point because you have to learn only 7 points. So first one is dream big in small input, delegate the work to others, set high standard goals and deliver. Now get investors, have fun, fail every day and stay creative. Okay, now next question is not important, just for MCQ purpose. This is also not important. These questions are for MCQ purpose. Okay, now this is also not important question. Now you have to learn what are the adversity quotient. What are the adversity quotient to an entrepreneurs? What are the adversity quotient to entrepreneurs? So you have to learn first one. Just 1 minute. It means ability to manage the difficulty in opportunities. That means what adversity quotient means, you have to manage the difficulties. You have to the ability of a person to manage the difficulty in the opportunities. Second one, it can predict how a person can behave in a difficult situation. If your adversity quotient is good, then you can behave better in difficult situation. If your adversity quotient is not good, then you will not behave properly, okay, in difficult situation. Okay, there are three approaches for identify the adversity quotient. First one is cognitive psychology, second one is psycho neuroimmunology, third one is neurophysiology. Okay, I'm not going into detail because I have already explained you everything. Okay, there are four dimensions for adversity quotient. There are four dimensions for adversity quotient. First one is control, second one is origin and ownership, origin and ownership. Third one is reach, fourth one is endurance, okay, simple. What is entrepreneur self efficacy? What is entrepreneur self efficacy? Self efficacy involves assessing one's ability to perform the activity rather than the personal qualities. You are assessing someone, you are just judging someone on the basis of their qualities, not on the basis of a personal qualities. That's only, okay, that is first line you have to learn. Now second line, self efficacy is an individual's a belief that about the ability to organize, perform task, achieve goal, produce things and implement actions to display certain skills. Simple. Self efficacy means individuals believe that about this ability to how he self efficacy is an individuals believe how he will perform the task, how he will achieve the goals. Simple. Two lines you have to learn. Now moving forward for next question. These are the MCQ purpose questions, or these are the case study, not important, just only for reading purpose. Entrepreneur practice nothing. Examples of entrepreneur discipline. Next question which you have to learn is examples of entrepreneur discipline. This is also not important here, just leave this question. Okay, what are the entrepreneurial passion? What are the entrepreneurial passion means, what is the meaning of passion? So you have to learn five points. First one is entrepreneur passion is a motivational concept and it is a positive excitement. Simple. Passion means motivational concept and it's a positive excitement. Second one, it creates self identity. Okay, it creates a self identity. Okay, third one, it is a passion. It's a passion working as a fuel. Entrepreneur passion means a fuel. It is a fuel. It is working as a fuel for entrepreneurs and making them motivated. Simple. Fourth point, passion driven entrepreneurs can earn a hefty amount of income. If you are passionate for something, If you are passionate for business, then you can earn a lot of amount, a lot of revenue, or you can grow. Definitely you can grow if you have a passion to do work. Okay, now last point, there are three types of passion. There are three types of passion you have to learn. Just first one is inventing entrepreneurs. There are three types of passion among the entrepreneurs. First one is inventing entrepreneurs, second one is founding entrepreneurs, and third one is developing entrepreneurs. There are three types of passions in the entrepreneurs. First one is inventing entrepreneurs, second one is founding entrepreneurs, who found the goods or services. Okay, founder of goods or services. Now last one is developing entrepreneurs, who develop the business. Simple. This is not important question. Okay, now chapter number 4. Just read this one. Okay, so just read this question. How how can you identify gap in product and services? How can you identify gap in product or services? So first one, you have to just read this mnemonic. Size. First one is size, then customer, then trend, and competitor. How you will find the gap in product and services? First one is size. You have to know the size of your market. Then customers, you have to know your customer, you have to understand your customer, then you have to know the trend in market, and last one is competitor. So first 4 points you have to learn as per this keyword. First one is size. What is the size of your target market? How many potential customers are there? What key customer trends do we see? What is the trend in the market? You can also write like this. What is the trend in the market? Simple. Now partnership. You can do partnership that will create a value, and after creating your value, then you can provide a premium product to customers. Then you can easily solve the problems of customers. Simple. First one is what? Partnership. To partnership that will create a value for your product or service. After making a value of a product or service, that will create a premium product. Okay, then it will solve the problem of customers. Now 4th to 8th point. From point number 4 to 5th to 8th month, our competitors are doing business online. So this is point number 4. Now 5th one, can we find a marketing partners to expand the reach? Simple. Partner. You can find the marketing partner to expand your reach. Now 6th point, create a value to your product. Okay, now 7th one, we have to position our product as premium. Now last one, how are customers currently solving their problem? Okay, how customers are currently solving the problem. You can also learn this. So now starting next question. This is not important. What are the 5 areas where gap model of service quality focus on? Gap model of service quality. First one is the gap between management perception and customers exception. First one is management perception and customers expectation. That means Nokia. Example is Nokia. So example of Nokia is just for understanding purpose. Okay, management perception and customers expectation. Second one is gap between management's perception and service quality specification. Management perception and service quality specification. Third one is service quality specification and service delivery. Service quality specification and service delivery. Third one is service quality specification and service delivery. Now fourth one, service delivery and external communication. Service delivery and external communication. Now last one, expected service and experienced service. So just first point, management perception and customers expectation. Now see this, management perception and this one. Okay, management perception and service quality specification. Okay. Now third one is service quality specification and service delivery. Okay, service quality specification and service delivery. Fourth one is service delivery and external communication. Service delivery and external communication. Last one is expected services and experienced services. The gap between expected services and experienced services. Just learn first one, just repeat. Management's perception and customers expectations. The gap between management perception and customers expectations. Second one, management perception and service quality specification. Management perception and service quality specification. Third one, service quality specification and service delivery. Service quality specification and service delivery. Fourth one, service delivery and external communication. Service delivery and external communication. Now fifth one is expected service and experienced service. Expected service and experienced service. Okay. Now this is not important question. This is also not important. These are only for MCQ purpose. How many types of resource management? Types of resource management: strategic resource management. Second one is meeting project deadline, and third one is future proofing resources. What? How many types of resource management? How many types of resource management? First one is strategic resource management. First one is strategic resource management. Meeting the project deadline. Meeting the project deadline, and last one is future proofing resources. Future proofing resources. Okay, future proofing resources. Now, next question: benefits of resource management. Benefit of resource management. First one is avoid resources का issues. Avoid resources issues means avoid करना है resources का problems. Okay, avoid resources problems. Second one, prevent resources over allocation. Prevent our resources from over allocation. Third one is create team transparency. Creating a team transparency. Creating a team transparency. Okay, next question: resource management life cycle. What is the resource management life cycle? What is the life cycle of resource management? What is the life cycle of resource management? How to manage the resources? Okay, simple. First one is planning, resource scheduling, and resource allocation. Resource planning, scheduling, allocation. Resource planning, scheduling, allocation. Resource planning, scheduling, and allocation. Okay, simple. Resource planning, allocation, and scheduling. Resource planning, scheduling, allocation. Simple. Now, next question: types of resource management technique. How many types of resource management technique? How many types of resource management technique? First one is resource forecasting. We have to forecast our resources, what we have to require. That means I want 10 machines. Okay, then allocate your resources. Okay, then labeling your resources, then utilization of resources. Types of resource management technique. Types of resource management technique. That means how technique or technology to manage the resources. Simple. First one is forecasting. I will forecast my resources, then I will allocate my resources, then I will labeling my resources, then I will utilize my resources. Simple. Then I will utilize my resources. Simple. Now starting our chapter number 5. What is capital structure? Just what is the meaning of capital structure? It's a very easy question. The capital structure is a combination of debt and equity. Capital structure is a combination of debt and equity for financing our business. Simple. If I want to raise fund, from which source I should raise a fund? So that is a capital structure mixing. We have to mix some debt or equity ka mix. Okay, that is called a capital structuring. They have explained in second line what is equity, and third point they have explained what is debt. Equity financing is also known as permanent source of capital. Simple. Debt financing represents a finite to maturity capital source. Finite to maturity capital source means, that means if we have taken a debenture, if we have taken any loan from bank or another person, so that have a fixed time period. That means 5 years, 10 years. After 5 years, 10 years, I have to pay back that principal amount also. Okay, so finite to maturity capital means after a certain period of time I have to pay back that money. And what is a legal obligation? Legal obligation means I have to pay interest on that debt. Simple. These 3 points you have to learn. Now next question: what are the factors affecting capital structuring? What are the factors affecting capital structuring? What are the factors affecting capital structuring? So first one is this one MCQ is also given in study material. Okay, so what are the factors affecting capital structuring? Company's life cycle. Second one is cost of capital, use of leverage, consideration of stakeholders' interest. Just repeat. What are the factors affecting capital structure? What are the factors affecting capital structure? What are the factors affecting the capital structure? First one is company's life cycle. Second one is cost of capital. Third one is use of leverage. Fourth one is consideration of stakeholders' interest. What is resource mobilization? Resource mobilization means shifting our resources from one place to another place. Read first line. Entrepreneurs mobilize resources to exploit the opportunities in which they can sell their product or services at a greater than their cost of production. Simple. We can reallocate our resources from one place to another place to identify or to exploit the opportunities or to earn money or to growth. Second one, mobilization of resources is a backbone. Just you have to learn this only and cut this one. Okay. Mobilization of resources is a backbone. Simple. Okay. Mobilization is a resources of backbone of entrepreneurship. Okay. Just cut this one. Of entrepreneurship. Simple. Now, third point, the resources are spanning, that means use. The resources are spanning over human, social, and just cut this line. No, not important. Okay. And just learn fourth one. They organize and recombine a variety of resources such as financial capital, human capital, and social capital. If they asked a question relating to resource mobilization, like what is resource mobilization, or write about resource mobilization, okay, so you have to learn these 4 points. Okay, you have to learn these 4 points. First one, second one, fourth one, and fifth one. Just cut third line. Okay, so fourth point, they organize and recombine a variety of resources. We have to recombine, we have to use variety of resources such as financial capital, human capital, social capital, or any other capital. Okay, last one is resources means tangible or intangible assets. Resources means tangible and intangible assets used by the, if owned by the entrepreneurs. Simple. You have to learn the 4 questions. How many stages of resource mobilization? Set. There are 3 stages of resource mobilization. There are 3 stages of resource mobilization. That means set. S means search, A means access, T means transfer. Search, access, transfer. Search, access, transfer. Not important, not important. Search, access, transfer. Okay. Now next question. Before choosing the place where we are going to start a business, you have to think about 5 points. First one is basic infrastructure cost at that place. Second one is capital costing. Third one is transport and communication ka cost. Fourth one is manpower cost. Fifth one is other costs like water, gas, and fuel. After that, you have to decide the place where you have to allocate your business or where you are going to start your business. Simple. Now chapter number 6, new age marketing and after sales services. How many types of market demands are possible? How many types of demands are possible? Just wait. Okay, new age marketing, chapter number 6. How many types of market demands are possible? You have you have to learn in 2 parts. First one is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8. So full demand. Okay, there are how many types of demand? 8 types of demand are there. First one is full demand, over full demand, unwholesome demand, and irregular demand. Full demand, over full demand, unwholesome demand, and irregular demand. There are 8 types of demand in market: full demand, over full demand, unwholesome demand, and irregular demand. Fifth one is declining demand, negative demand, non-existent demand, and latent demand. Declining demand, negative demand, non-existent demand, and last one is latent demand. Simple. What is new age marketing? This is only for MCQ purpose. Discuss the ways of new age marketing. Discuss the ways of new age marketing. Discuss the ways of new age marketing. First one is proper understanding of customers and needs. Proper understanding of customers and their needs. Discuss the ways of new age marketing. How should I do new age marketing? New age marketing means new types of marketing like digital marketing, social media marketing. These are the new age marketing. Okay, so first one is proper understanding of our customer and their need. Second one is building a strong online presence. I should be nowadays we should always have a online stores. Okay, now third one, providing value to customers or providing value to the product. Now fourth one is social media marketing. Fifth one is multi-channel marketing. There are 5 types of new age marketing. The ways through which we can do new age marketing: first one is you have to know your customer. Second one is building an online strong presence. Third one is providing value. Okay, Fourth one is social media marketing. Fifth one is multi-channel marketing. Through multi-channel marketing. Multi-channel marketing means through email you are doing marketing, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, or telecalling you are doing marketing. Okay, now next question, what are the strategies for new age marketing? There are four, I think, how many types of strategies? 8 type of strategies for new age marketing. So you have to learn only 7 points. Okay, so what are the strategies for new age marketing? Strategies for new age marketing: outbound marketing, that means push basis for marketing; inbound marketing, that means pull basis for marketing; digital marketing, now search engine marketing, now social media marketing, next one is video marketing, voice marketing, and email marketing. There are 8 points, so you have to learn only 7 points. Outbound marketing, inbound marketing, digital marketing, so, just leave this one, search engine marketing, leave this one. Okay, digital marketing, then social media marketing, video marketing, voice marketing, and email marketing. Simple. Okay, what is after sales service? Just read and leave this question. Learn. Next question, types of services after sales service. Okay, types of services given after sale. After sales, which kind of services we can provide to customers? First one is customer care service, hello customer care service. Second one is field assistant service. Third one is spare part distribution. There are 3 types of service which we have to provide after sales. First one is customer service, second one is field technical assistance, third one is spare part distribution. Okay, now starting chapter number 7, use of information technology in our business. Simple question is, you can just change the question. What are the use of information technology in business? So what is the use of information technology in business? First one is increasing the speed, we can enhance the speed. Second one is increased accuracy, we can increase the accuracy. Reducing the physical size of data, because we are storing online everything. Okay, now last one is eliminating the administrative corruption. Okay, what are the use of information technology? Simple: increasing speed, increasing accuracy, reducing physical data, reducing physical size of data, and last one, eliminating administrative corruption. Okay, now what are the reasons for developing deep tech startup? Just cut this RS follow, Okay, what are the reasons for developing deep tech? Why we are developing deep techs? Because to solve the real life problems and challenges, to create the job opportunities, data localization can be possible, and data sovereignty can be obtained, and challenges like data breaches or online attack can be minimized. Simple. There are 4 points why deep tech startups are developing or starting. What is deep tech startup? Deep tech startup means a startup which are using new technologies or advanced technologies or innovative technologies to develop their product or services. Simple. So why we are developing deep tech startups, why we are developing advanced startups? Because to solve the real life problem and challenges. Second one, deep tech companies can provide or create a job opportunities. Third one, data localization can be possible through deep tech technologies. Fourth one, data sovereignty can be obtained, and data breaches or online attack can be minimized. Simple. What is disruption? Eighth chapter, question number 1, what is disruption? Disruption means to disturb other. Okay, disruption is a process by which smaller companies with fewer resources challenges the successful business. Simple. If I am having a big business and you have started your business within 1 month or 2 months, and that then due to your business my revenue is decreasing day by day, that means you are disruption for me, that means you are disturbing my business. That is called disruption. Okay, if they have asked anything like write about disruption, so then you have to learn the 5 questions. 5 points. If they asked what is disruption, write about the if they asked what is disruption, then you have to write only 1 point. Then if they asked write about the disruption, then you have to learn the 5 points. Okay, 4 or 5 points. So first one is meaning. Disruption is a process by which smaller companies with fewer resources challenges the successful business. Simple. Second point, companies may face several crises. One such crisis is a prosperity crisis. Prosperity crisis means richers are more richer and poor are struggling. That means companies which are struggling day by day, then they are struggling. Okay, simple. Sometimes companies are catnapping caught napping. Sorry, caught napping. Sometimes companies are caught napping as they become complacent with their current success. Means complacent means satisfied. Means caught napping means they are just sleeping. They are doing nothing. They are satisfied with their current success. They are not innovating their product service. They are not researching on new product or service. They are just satisfied with their current success and they are doing nothing. Okay. Fourth point, sometimes companies remain focused on the most profitable customers and ignore the need of others. Simple. Some companies like iPhones are focusing on upper class families only, upper class pupils. Okay. Entrant means new companies are entrants entrance sorry new companies are targeting the ignored segment. Like Apple company is ignoring lower class segment or middle class segment. So new companies are focusing, targeting on the lower class family or middle class family. Simple. These 5 points you have to learn. Now next one, what are the strategies for facing the disruption? What are the strategies to face the disruption? First one is adopt the digital transformation, go online. Okay. Second one is check the move of the competitors, what are competitors doing. Okay. Be ready to disrupt rather than waiting to be disrupted. We should disrupt the others business, we should disturb the others business. Okay. Buy the disruptor is possible, amalgamate with the disruptor, buy that small company. Simple. Customers taste and preference may change quickly. We should know our customers preference, customers taste, then provide the goods or services as per their requirement. Keep an eye on changing the customers preferences. We have to keep an eye on their preferences. Okay. Should be aggressive and not be passive in approach. We should have aggressive approach, like do marketing, do amalgamation aggressively. Last one is adopt agile approach. Agile means smart approach. We should be smart for doing a business. Okay, this is not important. Now last chapter, and within 1 hour we will revise this module number 1. This is for MCQ purpose only. Now learn this, how to implement an effective regulatory compliance. How I will implement the regulatory compliance. First one, we should have a knowledge of regulatory environment. Second one, implementation of compliance tool like calendars. Okay. Training of the employees to know the need of regulatory compliance. Fourth one is holding internal compliance audit. Fifth one is review of the compliance regularly. Review the compliance regulations regularly. Okay. What does compliance audit? Compliance audit means we have to assess the laws, rules, regulations of competent authority. Okay. Competent authority means if I am a company, then I have to follow Companies Act 2013. Okay. Or Income Tax Act 1961. So assessment of means checking of rules or regulations of Companies Act 2013 or Income Tax Act, or which act is applicable to my company, then I have to check the rules and regulations of that act. Simple. Second point, it is important to conduct an internal compliance audit to determine the compliance baseline and identify the risk areas. Okay, I have to conduct internal compliance audit to know whether my company is regularly following the rules and regulations or not. Simple. Internal compliance audit can identify the weaknesses. Simply, auditor can identify the weaknesses and compliance ka gap and how to address them. How to if I'm not following the rules and regulation. For example, I have not paid GST, so please pay GST on time, or if you are late, then pay with penalty. Simple. Now next question, what are the steps need to be followed to conduct compliance audit? How to do compliance audit? First one, assessing the risk and the outcome of the previous compliance audit. I have to check the previous compliance auditor's report. Second one, appointing the compliance officer, then he will evaluate the existing process. Then assessing the risk, he will assess the risk. Now last one, he will communicate what he have checked, what he have done through the audit to stakeholders. He will do a meeting with the stakeholders. Now last question of module number 1, what are the regulatory compliances for setting up enterprise in India? How to set enterprise in India? First one, you have to select the business type. That means whether you are going as a sole proprietorship, or as a company, or as a AOP BOI, or as a HUF. Okay, simple. Firstly, you have to select the type of business entity, then take a business licensing. If you are a company, then registered under the Companies Act 2013. If you are a HUF, or if you are a partnership, if you have a partnership firm, then you have to follow Partnership Act 1932. Simple. Now if you are a company, then you have to follow the company laws, like annual general meeting, board meeting. You have to appoint a director, auditor, blah blah blah, if you are a company. Simple. Then fourth one, taxation based compliance. Okay, you have to comply the tax laws. Okay, last one is labor laws. You have to comply the labor laws, industry laws, payment of gratuity, Act 1972. You have to just learn 2 points, this one and this one, that's it. Leave 3 points, just learn 2 points only. Okay, that's it guys, bye bye, take care.